This is just a really quick note. I want to avoid any confusion moving forward. Just a quick note on the developer's environment that you'll see here in it is Joe Marini's, I believe, training for the session. Joe uses it is Visual Studio Code. Now, I know some of you potentially have Visual Studio Code from having taken JavaScript with me, or have Visual Studio Code from taking some of Chuck's previous classes. You don't need to use it. If you liked Atom, Atom is actually perfectly capable of doing everything that you're going to see here with JavaScript. If you still have it, I don't know why you wouldn't. But Brackets is perfectly capable of using everything that you see here in the training. So you do not have to install Visual Studio Code if you do not want to. I will mention in following along with the exercise files that he has, the reason, the instructor here, Joe, uses Visual Studio Code is, and you'll see it. I want to get the name of this one right for you. It is using data list for autocomplete is the place where I think that it has the most value to know this is, and it really does not matter. But you can see he is using Visual Studio Code because he has access to the entire list of files in the exercise files folder available to him in the left-hand window, with everything just in an accordion list as a drop down. Brackets allows you to do the same thing. Atom allows you to do the same thing. It's just both of those use a very condensed left hand side, whereas because it's a Microsoft product, Visual Studio Code says make it as big as possible, so it's 50-50, which I've always felt was kind of a waste of space. And that was before I knew Visual Studio Code was a Microsoft product. It's not true. I'm just verbally defecating on more Microsoft products again, maybe. But I don't intend for you to install another developer's environment if you do not want to. I will mention this about Visual Studio Code, is number one, it is nowhere near as bloated and terrible as Visual Studio. It's like 200. I just downloaded it, 248-ish megabytes for you guys, so it's not huge. It actually runs in JavaScript. So as a tie back to everything that we're looking at learning about here for the session, that's convenient. The nice thing about Brackets, the nice thing about Atom, the nice thing about Visual Studio Code is they do not install on a Windows machine like typical Windows programs do. So there are no DLLs to worry about later. When you want to uninstall the program, essentially it just drags itself to the recycle bin and says, I'm done. So you don't feel, or you shouldn't feel rather, the need to have to install yet another developer's environment. I know I've already had you do 2 plus local WP. So it's pushing how many of those I would prefer for you to have to do. You're certainly welcome to do it. I think there's value in seeing Visual Studio Code because it's far and away the fastest growing of the JavaScript and PHP developers environments because it's got the smallest install base. So that means it's rapidly expanding. But that's up to you. It won't take you but a moment to go download and install. There is no shenanigans when you're installing it. I don't feel as though it's very difficult at all. But you've already got the tools you need to be able to do it. You have Brackets, you have Atom, both of which use Chrome. And Chrome actually, especially when you're using the dataset one, behaves the best for these exercise files. So I just wanted to add that little ditty there to hopefully dispel any confusion. Do I need Visual Studio Code? No, it wouldn't hurt. but you've already got two to choose from instead.